Today a look at an old school piece of Soviet avionics. I believe it is a part from IFF system. It is actually a SOD-57M module, serial number 834141. So when I got it, it came on mounted on a big metal plate, but sadly it was too space consuming. I was not able to keep the complete thing, and it was just a metal plate with nothing else. So I removed the metal plate and it ended at the scrapyard, but I kept this item. So we still have the shock absorbers here on the mounting module for this, which I will undo right now. So it is a very old school piece with vacuum tubes. Let me undo the other bolt. So this comes off like so, just a host for the box with shock absorbers. So on this thing we have the main wire loom with a very big connector, 4 big coax connectors, and we have a number of access panels. We have one here, we have one here with numbers for all the models of vacuum tubes inside, and we have a bigger panel here giving access to the whole thing. So we will start by removing the 2 little panels. So this one is made for easy access and quick access, obviously for field repair. Just a matter to undo 2 screws and you have access to the insides where you can pull your vacuum tube. There is a kind of shielding over it, spring loaded, so it is indeed very hard to remove. Oh, it seems it is screwed. It looks like it is screwed. Trying to not to break the tube inside. Yes, like so. Probably it is the first time it is removed in decades, so quite stiff this thing. And we have, surely enough, our vacuum tube with a nice, I guess it is the Vostok company logo in the shape of a rocket, as you can see, and model number, date code of March 1980. So it is quite older. Probably this tube was replaced at some point, because the other part seems much more old than the 1980. Maybe not, we will find out, I guess. And now the tricky thing is to reinstall this shielding. It is making a wonderful noise also. Okay, so what do we have else? I will undo this little cover. So here we have 2 safety screws, which are not safety at all because you can just undo them by hand. In fact, there is wax in these little cups and it is supposed to prevent tampering with the thing, but there is nothing preventing them to turn, so it was really easy to undo. So we have this small panel giving access to most of the wiring, it seems. In fact, it is a whole bunch of resistors, capacitors. This must be 2 relays according to the footprint. Bakelite or some kind of synthetic material boards here and here, and the tube sockets. You can see most of the components have legs insulated with tube, heat shrink tube, if they can come in contact. Like this. This one has one, but not this one. Same here, same here. Because I guess you do not want them to come in on touch while you are flying, and you need the device working. So very old school design. By the way, it was probably quite tedious to assemble this thing, but investigation and time, work hours were value, so and here we have the main module. Yes. So here is what we have. By the way, a whole bunch of paper oil capacitors, the very nice Soviet ones with glass insulators, shielded can. This thing do never die. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them. We have a bunch of metal body diodes here, transformer here, and yes, 2 relays in 2 shielded relays. Here you can see the back of the coax connector, just here. And I am wondering how this thing was put together. We have screws here for attaching the capacitors. On this side also. And it looks like we have 1 screw here for this plate here. But probably the metal plate in the middle of the thing is, yes, it is riveted to the frame. So it was probably, yes, very difficult to put together. Because as you can see here, probably they did put the connector in last and push the wire inside, because there is some kind of a loop in the wire here. And here for the big wire harness there is this thing. It looks like either we have 1 extra connector in here, or it is just a terminal point-to-point thing. So I will reinstall the panel and we will check what we have in this. Okay, I'm back, because as you can see I did actually never undo this safety wire. It is a little bit worn out, but it was still in place. So I did never undo this piece. Here we are. I do not know how tight the screws will be, but apparently this one is not an issue. It was not tight at all. This one also. Okay, so it will not be too difficult to undo, except if Murphy's law gives us a last screw completely stuck. So far 3 of 4 screws are good. This one a little more difficult, but I need a smaller screwdriver. Okay, So, will Murphy slow strike or not? Last screw. No, Murphy is sleeping. Okay. So what do we have in this? It looks like the inside piece is coming right off. Here we have a screw on piece. And yes, it is just a point-to-point panel allowing to solder the wire harness when the box is already put together, and you don't have to go route your wires inside the box, but it is quite stuck in place here with wire loom, so I cannot really open it more. I'll try just a little bit for you. As you can see, it is the same thing on the other side. Then here we have pins with the wires soldered on them and etching. So it is just this, but nice touch for workers, I guess. It is easier to deal with this than why they did not include a connector socket, I don't know. Most of the time it is weird, but it happens with stuff that the aircraft stuff, and the wire harness is actually part of the device and is attached to the device. I have quite a number of things like so, in particular with Russian aircraft parts, but not only. I have seen similar stuff on even on airliner parts. So this will go back together nicely. So it is typically a kind of part you could reuse for something else. Always convenient. But now I will keep this thing all in a single piece because it is old school Soviet equipment. So here you can see how the supporting piece comes clip in here, and then you have the two screws you can attach with provision for safety wire also. We have little holes inside. Like so. And this screw thread here is probably for a grounding strap. Okay, so we still have a safety wire on the connector shell here. You can see there is no seal on it. It is just installed like so, but there is no seal. So either this thing was never really put into service, but no, it was on the aircraft frame by piece, so it was installed in an aircraft. But here you have provision for some kind of lead seal. But this thing was, no, it is not. So I can open it maybe? No, it is too hard. Okay, so anyway there is nothing to see in this except maybe the nice logo on the plug here. I will try to zoom in for you. One more word, Soviet logo. And nice venting holes at the bottom, you can see matching the cutout on the support piece here. Okay, thanks for watching, bye bye.